Whispers for Libra.
Hello, beautiful Libra. Something rare is unfolding in your life right now. Not tomorrow, not next month, but in this very moment, the energy surrounding you is shifting in a way the cosmos has never orchestrated before. You might not see it clearly yet, but deep within, you feel it. The restlessness in your chest, the quiet endings that didn't make sense, the repeated numbers like 555 or 1111 appearing at just the right second. These are not coincidences, they are sacred signposts. In numerology, you're being pulled into a new life path cycle, and this one holds a twist so unexpected it could only be designed by divine timing. This isn't about luck, it's about alignment, the kind of moment that reroutes your destiny in silence, so silently in fact, that only your intuition can hear the invitation. The balance you've always chased as a Libra is no longer found outside of you, it's awakening within you. And this twist, it's not meant to break you, it's meant to unlock you. You've outgrown the patterns, the people, and the promises that once felt safe. Now you're being guided towards something that requires your full attention, your soul's attention. Stay with me, because in the next few moments, you'll discover why this moment, this message, and this strange unfolding were all destined to find you. Your energy is not being shaken, it's being realigned with a truth that has waited lifetimes to return. Ready to receive it? Let's begin. There's something you need to understand, Libra. This moment wasn't born out of chance. It's been written in the stars long before you ever questioned your place in this world. For months, even years, the universe has been arranging silent puzzle pieces behind the scenes. Delays that frustrated you, people who disappeared without warning, opportunities that fell through at the very last second. But none of it was punishment. It was divine orchestration. You see, the life you were building before this twist wasn't wrong, but it wasn't fully you. It was a version shaped by what you thought you had to be. Agreeable, graceful, always holding the peace, even when it cost you your own truth. But now, a powerful disruption is here to reveal what peace really means. Not the absence of conflict, but the presence of alignment. And the twist that's arriving? It's not external chaos, it's an inner unlocking. Something or someone has entered your life recently. A message, a mirror, a shift that doesn't just feel unexpected, it feels almost too precise to ignore. This moment holds the energy of Uranus, the planet of sudden change, mixed with Libra's natural rulership by Venus, creating a rare vibration where what once felt beautiful now demands depth, and what once felt balanced now calls for boldness. This twist is designed to do one thing: wake you up. Wake you from the illusion that you have to earn love through perfection, that you must delay your desires to keep harmony, that your softness must come at the cost of your soul. No, Libra, this moment is calling you home, to your intuition, your unshakable values, your deeper knowing that you were not born to bend, but to bloom. And as this twist unfolds, not as an event, but as an energetic turning point, everything that isn't aligned with the real you will begin to fall away. Let it, because what's waiting for you on the other side isn't a repeat of the past. It's a life that finally matches the depth of your heart. You may have already felt the rumble beneath the surface, Libra. The subtle unraveling of things you once counted on, the collapse of plans that felt so certain, the emotional breakdown that came without warning. Maybe it happened in a conversation that pierced deeper than it should have, or in the quiet realization that something you kept fighting for was no longer fighting for you. This collapse didn't come to punish you, it came to liberate you. Spiritually, this moment mirrors the energy of the Tower in Tarot, a sacred destruction, not of your worth, but of your illusions. Everything you built on fear, people-pleasing, or unspoken hopes is now being lovingly torn down to make space for something more true. You weren't meant to carry the weight of keeping everything together while your own soul quietly faded. And though the collapse feels sudden, it's actually been whispering to you for a long time, in your fatigue, in your overthinking, in the ache of being misunderstood. Now the universe has stepped in because you deserve a life that doesn't require you to shrink. The beauty of being Libra is your gift for balance. But when that balance becomes self-betrayal, the scales must tip. So here you are, at the edge of the known, with nothing solid to hold except your truth. And that's exactly where the magic begins. The collapse has cracked open the facade, and now you're finally free to build a reality that reflects your soul's design. Let the tears fall, let the silence speak, let the space that's been emptied remain empty for a while, because what's coming next requires room. You're not being broken, you're being rebuilt. Not in the image of who others needed you to be, but in the sacred alignment of who you were always meant to become. Trust that this moment, painful as it may be, is not an ending. It's the first breath of your liberation. Now that the collapse has cleared what could no longer serve you, Libra, a hidden blessing begins to rise from the ashes, quietly, gently, but undeniably. It may not look like a miracle yet, but feel into it. That slight lift in your chest, that moment of unexpected calm, that small spark of curiosity returning after weeks of numbness, that is grace finding its way back in. Because here's the truth, behind every divine disruption is a sacred revelation. You're beginning to see the truth of people, the truth of your own needs, the truth of what your energy responds to. You no longer need to chase clarity outside yourself. It's already surfacing from within. What looked like rejection was actually redirection. What felt like abandonment was divine protection. And what seemed like failure was your spirit saying, this is not the path for your highest good. There's something beautiful happening beneath your awareness. Your soul is realigning with its authentic frequency. Your heart, once heavy with compromise, is now learning to beat in rhythm with truth. You're becoming more intuitive, more aware of synchronicities, more open to the signs the universe keeps placing in your path. The people who stayed after the twist, notice their energy. The sudden opportunities that feel light, notice their alignment. You're not just moving forward, Libra, you're moving differently. And this difference is the blessing. You're learning to lead with self-trust, to pause instead of people please, to ask, does this nourish my spirit before you say yes? The blessing wasn't the twist itself, it's who you're becoming because of it. You've unlocked an inner gate that can never be closed again. And while the road ahead may still have shadows, you now carry a light that no one else gave you, because you earned it in the dark. Keep listening. The blessing is still unfolding, and it knows your name. Libra, in the stillness that followed the storm, you may have noticed something strange, something almost otherworldly. Dreams that felt too vivid to ignore, numbers repeating like whispers from beyond. The sudden sensation that you're not walking this path alone. That's because you're not. The moment this shocking twist began to unfold, your spiritual guide stepped forward, not in chaos, but in quiet clarity. You are being surrounded, watched over, and gently redirected by energies that operate outside the logic of the physical world. Whether it's a past loved one, a guardian angel, or a higher version of your own soul, these presences are here, not to fix what's broken, but to walk with you through the repair. You've probably felt it already. A sudden nudge to take a different route, a voice in your heart telling you to pause before answering. A feather, a coin, a song that hits too close to home. These are not random, they are signs. In numerology, seeing 444, 112 isn't coincidence. It's divine conversation. The universe speaks in patterns, and now that you've opened energetically through the twist, your soul is attuned enough to hear. These guides didn't come because you're broken. They came because you're ready. ready to access the kind of protection and wisdom that only arrives when you surrender your need to understand everything. They're not here to make things easy, they're here to make things meaningful. And as you begin to trust these nudges, these gut feelings, you'll find that your path becomes less about striving and more about receiving. You'll speak less from fear and more from knowing. You'll stop chasing answers and start listening for guidance. You are never alone. Libra, not in this twist, not in this moment, not in what comes next. So take a breath, place your hand over your heart and whisper to yourself, I am held. I am guided. I am loved beyond reason. Because it's true, and it always has been. Libra, the moment you felt everything shift, the relationships, the timing, the emotion couldn't explain, you crossed into a new timeline, one that no longer matches your past frequency. And even if nothing outside you looks drastically different yet, trust this. On a soul level, the transformation has already occurred. You've stepped into an energetic corridor where your old ways of reacting, loving and doubting no longer apply. What once triggered you now feels distant. What once pulled you into confusion now reveals itself with startling clarity. You are no longer operating from wounded alignment. You're being moved by divine rhythm. In astrology, this is what happens when you pass through a personal portal, often marked by transits to your moon, your ascendant, or the karmic north node. It's not a moment, it's a redirection, and you're living it now. The people who once defined your identity begin to fade, not because they're wrong, but because your frequency can no longer meet them where they stand. The dreams you used to water without growth now wither, making space for seeds that finally respond to your light. This is not a season of achieving, Libra. It's a season of allowing. Let the recalibration happen. Let the urges to over-explain, over-give, over-prove fall away. Because in this new energetic field, you're not asked to earn your worth. You're asked to embody it. And the more you align with your truth, the more effortless things will become. You won't need to chase what's meant for you. It will recognize you by vibration. Your timeline has shifted. Your past story has expired, and your new path requires only one thing, your full presence. No pretending, no pleasing, no delay, just presence. This is your moment, Libra. Not to return to who you were, but to receive who you're becoming. Let every breath you take in this new space be a confirmation. I am no longer who I was. I welcome who I'm meant to be. Libra, what you may not have realized yet is that this twist, this inner earthquake that shook your sense of identity and belonging, was the final unraveling of a karmic loop you've been trapped in for far too long. This cycle may have looked different each time, a different face, a different place, a different excuse to stay small, but the core feeling was always the same. That subtle ache of not being chosen, that familiar urge to prove your worth by overgiving, that recurring pain of waiting for someone else to validate your value. But not anymore. The twist didn't come to test you, it came to free you. This is your soul's emancipation from emotional contracts that were never truly equal. Energetically, you've been paying debts that weren't yours to begin with, carrying guilt that was inherited, not earned. And now, by standing in your truth, by saying enough even in silence, you've signaled to the universe that you are ready to close the loop. You're ready to break the spell. No more chasing apologies, no more sacrificing your peace for potential, no more calling it love when it's actually longing. The moment you stopped trying to fix what never saw your light was the moment your karma began to dissolve. This is what soul graduation looks like. Not loud, not dramatic, but sacred. A quiet knowing that you are no longer available for anything that asks you to abandon yourself. And because you've reached this inner threshold, your energetic field is shifting, your choices are clearer, your boundaries firmer, your peace louder than your pain. The karmic ties are loosening. The roles you kept playing are losing their script, and your soul tired but triumphant, is whispering, "We're finally free." So when the old pattern tries to tempt you one last time, smile gently and walk away. You're no longer dancing in circles. You're walking a straight path to destiny, and this time it's paved with your truth. And now, Libra, we arrive at the most important question of all. Who are you after the twist? After the mirrors shattered, the karmic cords dissolved, and the mask of peace at all costs slipped away, what remains? What stands in the silence that followed your surrender? It is you, the real you, the one who no longer fears being misunderstood because your truth speaks louder than any explanation. The one who doesn't need to earn belonging because you finally claimed it within. The one who knows that balance isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about honoring what feels aligned, even if it shakes the room. This new version of you doesn't rush to respond, doesn't chase closure, doesn't shrink to stay safe. She listens deeply, acts intentionally, and radiates a presence that doesn't demand attention. It commands it through peace. You've become more than what you endured. You've become someone who no longer asks, "Am I too much?" but instead whispers, "Is this enough for my soul?" You've stopped bending to fit into spaces that weren't designed to hold your light. Now you build your own sanctuary, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. And this identity shift isn't temporary, it's sacred evolution. In astrology, this mirrors the phoenix energy of your opposite sign, Aries, rebirth through fire. You are no longer just the sign of balance. You are now the embodiment of beauty with backbone, grace with grit. You are soft but not naive, kind but not compromising, loving but no longer leaking. And from this place of clarity, you will attract not chaos but calm, not people who need saving, but those who honor your light, not opportunities that drain but paths that align. Let this new version of you be your foundation now. Because from here, everything changes. Not because you finally became enough, but because you remembered you already were. This is your new home, Libra, the one built from truth, not performance. Welcome back to yourself. Libra, now that you've returned to yourself, truly and unapologetically, it's time to understand the deeper meaning behind everything that's happened. Not just emotionally, but spiritually, energetically, universally. This twist wasn't just about releasing old patterns or people. It was about realigning your frequency to a higher purpose, a divine blueprint that's always been encoded within you. You were never here just to keep the peace. You were here to embody harmony, to channel it in a way that transforms every space you enter. And now the universe is revealing the truth. Your energy is meant to shift timelines, not just for you, but for those around you. The spiritual meaning of wealth, of love, of connection, of creativity, all of it is being rewritten through you. You're realizing now that wealth isn't about accumulation, it's about circulation. That love isn't about attachment, it's about resonance. That peace isn't found in avoiding discomfort, it's found in facing truth with grace. This is the frequency of divine Libra, balanced but bold, wise but wild, receptive yet completely in command of your choices. You're being called to walk as a mirror of spiritual alignment, not just for your own healing, but for collective elevation. And because of that, your aura is becoming magnetic, not through effort, but through embodiment. You are not here to prove your worth. You are here to live it out loud. And the more you trust the flow, the more the universe will meet you with unexpected blessings, divine connections, soul-aligned abundance, and clarity so sharp it cuts through every doubt. You are not who you were a week ago, and you'll never be again. Because once you awaken to this truth, there's no going back. The twist you experienced wasn't the end of your story. It was the unlocking of a new spiritual identity. One that was destined for influence, beauty, balance, and grace. Let it radiate, let it lead, let it change everything. So here you are, Libra, standing at the edge of everything you've ever known, no longer clinging, no longer questioning if you're too much or not enough, but simply being fully, freely, and finally. This twist, this divine interruption that turned your world inside out, wasn't here to hurt you. It was here to wake you. To remind you that your soul didn't come here to repeat the past, but to rise into the future with clarity, courage, and grace. What happened may have shocked you, but what it revealed was sacred. Your resilience, your wisdom, your power to release what isn't yours and walk boldly to what is. And as you continue to walk in that truth, Libra, the energy around you begins to respond differently. It's not just people who sense the change. It's situations, timelines, frequencies. You've shifted dimensions without even realizing it. And now everything that isn't in alignment with your soul's evolution is quietly falling away. Don't resist the shedding, the friendships that no longer feel warm, the dreams that don't spark joy, the identities that no longer fit. They are leaving, not to punish you, but to prepare you. You are not broken. You are blooming. And this twist, it was the portal. So take a deep breath, beautiful Libra. Ground into this moment. Say yes to the version of you that no longer begs, but attracts, that no longer waits but receives, that no longer hides but shines. You are not returning to the old path. You're stepping into the one that was always yours. And this time, you won't miss a thing.